Hey friends, today's practice is upper body and core, so let's get started in tabletop position. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, spread the fingers, breathe and drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the chin and the tailbone. Exhale, round the back, forehead pressing towards the thighs. Breathe and drop the belly, looking up, finding our cow pose, stretching through the front of body. And exhale, round the back, forehead to shins, finding our cat pose, stretching back of body. Let your breath lead you through these two movements. No rush, just allowing your breath to flow and your movement to follow. In your next exhale, hold this position. Get the arms a little longer and then untuck the toes if they're tucked. Sit your hips back towards your heels, child's pose. Walk the hands a little bit further away. Open the heart. Now we're going to find a flow from child's pose right here where we are now into cobra. Keep your back rounded. Inhale, rise up off of the heels. Keep your arms fully long and then drop your hips forward, rolling your chest open. Let's do this several times. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, hips to heels, fall all the way back to child's. Keep the arms long, back rounded as you inhale, rise. When the shoulders are over the wrists, we drop the hips forward and down. Good. Now your flow doesn't have to look the same as mine. Just try to warm up more length into your spine. More openness into the shoulders. We're also releasing through the hips here. And next time you find your cobra pose, let's pause here. Toes are pointed back, elbows in, shoulders away from ears, trying not to fall into a shrug. On your exhale, come down, chest to the ground. Extend your arms out, palms down, left cheek to earth, right heel to glute. Rainbow the toes over your backside and down to the left. Left palm behind us is flat. Your right palm can move a little closer to push you into the stretch, or back of right hand could find the low back, half bind. Taking 2 more breaths here. Good. Now let your right arm reach back out, roll back to your belly. Take your hands next to your chest. Let's come into our cobra pose again. Breathe and lift the heart. Exhale, come back down. Extend your arms out. This time the right cheek comes down. Left heel to glute. Rainbow the toes over your backside, down to the right. Left hand can move closer to push. Left hand could half bind, back of hand to low back. And slowly reach your left arm back out. Roll back to your belly. Take your hands next to your chest. Cobra pose. Breathe in, lift the heart. Keep the elbows in. Let your toes tuck and find a downward facing dog. Tailbone up to sky. Walk the feet in a little bit, but create the length in your arms through your rib cage. Take 3 breaths here, keeping the tailbone lifted up to the sky, like there's a little bit of a pull to it. Now to a hovering tabletop. Come into what would be a tabletop, but don't let the knees drop. Let them stack under the hips in a hover. Hands are under the shoulders. Breathe in, come back up to down dog. Breathe out, hold your hovering tabletop. Let's do this a few times, knowing that you always do have the option to put your knees down if needed. Just take the movement slower if that's the case. Very good. One last time. Good, and drop down to your knees in a tabletop. Pressing through your right hand, inhale, left to sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Left arm comes under. We place the left shoulder down. Right hand could push, or right arm could half bind. Place right hand under shoulder. Inhale, unthread the left. Exhale, left palm down. Inhale, right to sky. Exhale, thread the right arm under, place the shoulder. Left arm pushing you into your twist or half binding. Left hand under left shoulder. Inhale, unthread right arm up to sky. And exhale, come back to tabletop. Walk your hands out a little bit more in front of you so that we're coming into a kneeling plank. Hands under shoulders. Your hips are between the shoulders and the knees. Keeping your elbows nice and tight into your body. Slowly shift forward and down, slow chaturanga. And then without coming up onto the toes, just pushing through the hands, lift yourself back up. Let's do a few of these low chaturanga push-ups. Maintaining a nice flat back. Maybe noticing the alignment of your hips. Keeping your belly button tucked into your spine rather than letting the low back arch. Good. Now I want you to take this last one as slowly as you can. Take your time. Coming down slowly. Return your body weight to the ground. Very good. Now, from this position, let's extend our arms straight back behind us, palm down. Without bending your knees, inhale, lift. Engage the back muscles of the body. Exhale, rest. Find a few breaths, repeating this motion into our locust pose. We're not only feeling the back, but we are noticing the backs of our legs, the calves, hamstrings, glutes, low back, mid, up. We're noticing the core as well. And next time you lift into this position, hold for 4, 3, 2. Exhale, come down, bring your hands next to heart, setting up for cobra pose. Take a nice big breath in. Rise up, heart open. Tuck your toes, find your downward facing dog, tailbone up to sky. Good. Now press through your left heel. Inhale, right toes to three-legged, keeping your hips parallel with the ground. Exhale, right knee to chest. Hold a nice strong plank. Breathe in, come back up to three-legged. Repeat a few times. Trying not to shrug into our shoulders. Keeping the core engaged. And next time you exhale, bring the knee to chest. Plant the shin at an angle. Slide the left leg back for pigeon pose. Untuck. Breathe in. Lift the heart. And breathe out, come down to your forearms or your chest. 6 breaths here to reset. Letting our body soften. Letting our mind clear. Let's lift back up to our palms, tuck your back toe, lift up into downward facing dog, pressing through right heel. Inhale, left toes to sky, three-legged, good. Exhale, knee to chest, hold a plank and repeat. Doesn't have to look mechanical or perfect. Find your own flow that feels good, even if it's different. One more. Next exhale, bring the knee to chest, plant the shin at an angle, right leg back, untuck as you breathe in. And to your forearms, breathe out, maybe even resting down to the chest. Soften your body and slow your breath. To your palms, inhale, lift back up, Tuck your back toe. Find your downward facing dog. Really good. Let's transition into our hovering tabletop. Long arms, no arch in the low back. Let's take turns extending one heel straight out behind us, bringing it back to the hover. Kind of like this awkward march. Keep the low belly engaged. Good. Try not to shrug into those arms. Just take it slow, nice and strong. Good. Now, drop back down to your knees, untuck the toes, and you get a little rest in child's pose. Feel free to widen out the knees to open up through the hips a little more. Rising up to tabletop pose, we're going to walk our hands in front of us again for that low plank for our slow chaturanga push-ups. You can do them here or you can lift to the toes, forward and down, keeping the back flat, press the body back up. Take these nice and slow. Maybe we're in between knees and toes, so maybe we come up on the knees, lift to the toes, and come down on the toes. That way you're making half of the movement more challenging. Good. Next time you rest, pause there. Untuck the toes. This time, interlace the fingers behind the back. Good. Inhale, lift to locust, pointing the toes, keeping legs straight. Take a few breaths to flow through these movements. Knowing your arms don't have to clasp, they could simply reach back. Good. Last lift, hold for 4, 3, 2. Exhale, drop down. Place the hands next to chest. Breathe in, lift up to cobra. Elbows in, shoulders down. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Good. Now press through left heel. Inhale, right toes to sky, 3-legged. You can open your dog, bending the knee. Now if you want to give it a go, flip your dog. Right toe comes down to the ground on the left side. We roll front of body open, reach that right hand over to the left. Good. Come back into 3-legged, and we'll come into pigeon. Now we're going to take an active pigeon this time. Left leg back, untuck the toe, interlace behind, and lift up, making a nice flying pigeon here for 3, 2. Exhale, release down, tuck your toe, downward facing dog. Right heel to the ground. Inhale, left toe up, 3-legged. Open by bending the knee, heel to glute, or you can flip left toes down to the right, reach left arm up and over. Beautiful. And come back to 3-legged. Exhale into pigeon, plant the shin, slide the right leg back, interlace, take a big breath in, sit the hips forward and down. Wonderful. And let's release our hands down to the ground. Sit down to your left glute. Sweep the right leg in front of you. We're going to step both feet flat in front of us. We're going to find a new flow here, keeping your belly button in, chest open, shoulders down and back. Let's lift to boat pose, arms and calves parallel with the ground, lifting the chest, lifting the head. Good. Always knowing we can support backs of thighs or on the ground. Now, when you reach your next exhale, heels and hands come down, fingers point in. Breathe in, lift up. Good. If your wrists don't like pressure, you can change the angle or take a fist instead. Exhale, drop the hips. Breathe in, lift to boat, heart open. If you want to make this a little more challenging, extend the toes up, gazing to the tips of your toes. Exhale, heels and hands down, fingers in. Breathe in, reverse tabletop, long arms. Chin could be tucked or tilted back, depending on what your neck is preferring. Exhale, drop down, final boat pose. You could have parallel legs or straight legs, and we're gonna do boat to canoe. Breathe in, extend to canoe, long legs, look to your toes. Exhale, bring it back to boat with straight or bent. Utilize your breath during these challenging movements. Final time here. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart. Interlace around your toes, scoot your glutes towards your heels. Take a big breath in, lift the heart. Exhale, elbows hook the shins, pulling yourself forward and down. Take a few breaths. Now from this position, let's sit up tall. We're gonna roll back into happy baby pose. So hands are going to find the outer edge of your foot, but your arms are on the insides of your legs. Walk your heels back so you can balance to your glutes and slowly roll onto your back, heels to sky, shoulders down, head is rested. Maybe you want to play around with your leg movement here. And after another moment or two, lead your feet down to the ground in front of you, flat, palms face down at your sides. Breathe in, lift your hips up, stretch open the hips, the heart, the shoulders. Exhale, drop back down. Bring the soles of your feet together. Knees out to the sides, hands anywhere they're cozy. Slow down your breath. Slow down your thoughts and allow yourself this time and space to be still. If you are comfortable here, you could stay as long as you'd like or adjust into any other comfortable position to end out your practice. Thank you all so much for joining today. Namaste.